Well, just like I told you, exactly like I promised. Today, the 8th day of October, has been a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Man, it's just hard to describe just how nice it has been this week. We've still got some more in store, and then tomorrow we'll kind of forego the details tonight. We covered quite well what Delta or what's left of Delta is going to send our way for the weekend. But tonight we're going to focus on tomorrow. Another day, maybe even perhaps warmer than today. Maybe a few more clouds, but some really nice conditions tomorrow. And that's what we'll focus on this time tomorrow. We'll talk about what kind of rain that we think the weekend has in store. Good evening, and glad to have you with me tonight. It has been a staggering, deadly 24, 48 hours, give or take, for much of eastern Kentucky. Not in the viewing area per se. Breathitt County, a few fatals. Pike County, a young person dying on an ATV accident. A fatal this afternoon on one of the detours around where all the work, of course, is going on there on the Mountain Parkway in regards to the sinkhole. We'll cover those in just a few seconds. Our local COVID update is another busy one today, and in fact, 3 positive cases, and we'll elaborate more, are going to transcend into several people quarantined in several different entities, if you will. The governor will have his update. I've got a big tater story to show you, and a few other things before I leave you for the weekend. As far as those fatalities are concerned, state police have confirmed that they're still investigating, but have determined that a young woman died in an ATV accident earlier this week. It was actually Tuesday afternoon when an 18-year-old Diana Thacker, who is said to have been from Pinson Fork in Pikeville, was taken to the Pikeville Medical Center, where she was later pronounced dead after the Arctic Cat side-by-side ATV that she was traveling in lost control, where the driver lost control, left the roadway, struck an embankment, and overturned. She was the operator. She was the one that's said to have lost control for an unknown reason. The vehicle overturned. I believe she was still alive at the scene, but was pronounced dead later that afternoon at the Pikeville Medical Center. In Breathitt County, it's been a very deadly past day or two. The Sheriff's Department there, as well as OSHA, investigating a deadly heavy equipment accident at a work site in Breathitt County last evening. That's where a man was ejected from a bulldozer that he was operating on a construction site. They say that that man, after being ejected, died upon impact after being thrown from the heavy piece of machinery. The machinery making way for either the road or the pad, if you will, for a new cell tower in Breathitt County off of Highway 1098. The identity of the deceased had not been released pending notification of next of kin. It happened around 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. It's in the area of South Fork as well. All I know else is that the construction company that the man worked for was based in Illinois. And then today in Breathitt County on Kentucky 15, just south of the quicksand area where a lot of folks are very familiar with, a single car crash claimed the life of one person there. No other details as of airtime except to say that the road was closed for a number of hours per the investigation of the scene and, of course, all responding personnel. That's all we know about that at this point. Another fatal today, though. This one on a detour that anyone traveling west on the Mountain Parkway, it has been taking for quite some time due to that sinkhole. However, with the exception of the heavy traffic, the wreck itself may not be directly related to the detour. Scheduled to be completed by the end of this month, work continues on the sinkhole that developed under the Mountain Parkway just west of Exit 40. Since that development, motorists have been traveling west using that detour essentially parallel to the Mountain Parkway and coming out at Slade. It's a small, narrow, winding road, one that has seen at least one other accident, a serious one that I'm aware of, and possibly several minor ones that I'm unaware of, or have unconfirmed, I should say. But today there was a fatality on Kentucky 715. The Wolfe County Sheriff's Department confirming that a man who is still yet to be formally identified died in a 2-vehicle crash earlier today. It actually happened this morning shortly before 10:30 on 715 near Big Andy Road. Big Andy Road is about a mile and a half or so from where you turn in to go into Cliff View. It was the black Ford Mustang that you see here in the photograph. We also had someone who came through with Mortimer Media Group today who talked to someone on scene who said that speed may have been a factor based on witness accounts prior to and leading up to the collision, and that it might not necessarily have been a detour-related accident except for the heavy traffic that the vehicle was said to be navigating through, possibly at a significant or high rate of speed. The accident remains under investigation by the Wolfe County Sheriff's Department. More news in just a moment.
Your state representative in the 92nd District is John Blanton, and in the last 4 years, he's been working hard. He's secured over $130 million for the district. In Magoffin County, he continued the funding at a cost of $80 million for the Mountain Parkway, while at the same time bringing water and sewer lines to the city of Salyersville and the much-needed industrial park. Your vote is needed to continue the progress in the 92nd District, paid for by John Blanton.
Come to Parkway Pharmacy in Salyersville and get your prescriptions filled, your over-the-counter medications, and immune system boosters, all from the safety and comfort of your own vehicle, either in their drive-thru or with their new curbside service. You can also call ahead or just download the MyGNP app, that's Good Neighbor Pharmacy, and refill and manage your prescriptions right from your device, helping you and yours stay healthy and safe. Parkway Pharmacy in Salyersville, 349-4400.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
Go to Conley Tire in Staffordsville or conleytire.net right now and get $200 back on a new set of Goodyears, $100 on new Generals, Coopers, Bridgestones, and Mickey Thompsons, all with the smoothest balancing Snap-on has to offer. And if your ride has a light on, let their state-of-the-art Zeus diagnostic machine figure it out for only $35 at Conley Tire. We know that life cannot come to a complete standstill because of the pandemic, but we can make sure that you can continue to bank safely and securely by calling either branch of the Salyersville National Bank to schedule any in-lobby services, or by using either of our drive-thrus. Mondays through Fridays, the main drive-thru is open from 8 until 3, and the branch drive-thru is open from 8 until 5, and the branch drive-thru is also open on weekends, Saturdays 8 until noon, with ATMs available 24/7 at both locations. Or by taking advantage of our completely free 24-hour internet banking and bill pay, banking by phone, remote deposit, automatic payment services, and more. Salyersville National Bank, always making your banking easier and safer. Our public health director tells us of new local cases in Magoffin County and how it is very likely that many of the new cases that have been reported over the past several weeks are stemming from individuals who may have come in contact with another individual and were told to quarantine, get tested if they so needed to do so, and in many cases, those individuals getting a test 3, 4, 5 days later, getting a negative result, and then not going through with the rest of their quarantine. He'll explain that in more detail in just a few moments. Right now, our governor explains the numbers today, which are still going to, in addition to all the other days of this week, more than likely set another record for Kentucky. Prior to Bashir's update, Lieutenant Governor Coleman reminded everyone of Team Kentucky funds at teamkyfund.ky.gov. That's where anyone who has been affected through the coronavirus and is suffering financial hardships can go to get small grants, I believe up to $1,000. A great deal of money has been donated by very kind individuals and organizations to help support that fund, and if you would still like to do so, there is still a great need at donate.ky.gov. 100% going back to those Kentuckians who are eligible and apply. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Michael Adams followed the Lieutenant Governor, reminding everyone this Friday is the deadline to apply or request an absentee ballot, and that early in-person voting will begin next Tuesday on the 13th. As of today, almost 625,000 absentee ballots have been requested. And if you request a ballot and then you want to see where it is and see that it gets back to where it needs to go, you can go to govoteky.com to get your ballot, and then you can go back to govoteky.com and track your ballot. That was something that I was unaware of. From there, it was the governor's turn, where he spoke of another day, a high number of cases, which combined with the rest of this week's will more than likely break another record for this week, which will make several weeks in a row that that's happened.
Tough day today in terms of Kentuckians lost. We're reporting 11 Kentuckians who have died, at least in part, to COVID-19. Again, with the high number of cases, we're going to have high numbers of deaths. Even with the mortality rate decreasing, it's still at a significant level compared to anything we normally deal with. Today includes a 62-year-old woman from Bell, a 95-year-old woman from Boyd, a 60-year-old woman from Bullitt, an 80-year-old woman from Fayette, an 85 and a 63-year-old woman from Jefferson, a 58-year-old man from Jefferson, a 65-year-old man from Lincoln, an 86-year-old woman from Scott, and an 83-year-old man from Scott, and a 31-year-old man from Warren County.
New cases today reported stood at 884. Kentucky's positivity rate continuing to decline by small amounts, down to its 7-day rolling average today of just over 4% at 4.1. Now for your local COVID update, our Public Health Director, Mayor Pete Shepard, tells us of 3 more cases today, bringing our total to over 120. And at least one of those cases has resulted in the quarantine of several individuals that is rather far-reaching, he says, with the cancellation of some high school sports programs practices for the foreseeable future.
We had 3 positive cases today. One of the cases is just related to another positive we had yesterday, I think it was, and it's just a man and wife. We've had another case positive that was related to a case a couple of weeks ago that's been going on and testing positive, and then we had another case today that has been related to positives this weekend that we had.
And I know that one of them is going to have an effect on school personnel or activities?
Yes, one of the individuals that tested positive is a school, works in the school system. Is not a teacher, but does have contact with some of the personnel in the school system.
So as a result, I know you can't go into too many specifics, but what kind of programs are we talking about being affected, suspended, quarantined, and the like?
With his positive, we had 5 direct contacts with this individual. And after talking with the school has decided until the 20th to suspend girls basketball practice and boys basketball practice as a precautionary measure, and that's the school's decision.
This also affects a statement that you were issuing to the church, a church in the area?
Yes, the Lakeville Baptist Church. If you attended church on Sunday, you need to watch for symptoms. It's very highly unlikely that you contacted anything there, but you need to watch for symptoms, and if you do show symptoms, then you do need to get tested. And I'll tell everybody that the main symptom that everybody has, that 90% of the ones that's been symptomatic has said, well, they thought they had sinuses or allergies flaring up, and then it wound up being a positive COVID. So if you even though you've had allergies every year, if you've got them again this year, or you're having a stuffy nose or a headache, then you need to probably be tested if you think you've been in the presence of anybody that could have been positive.
On the subject of testing, and I've learned it personally just going through it with Lacey some time ago, and then through some close friends or family. But in regards to testing, people are exposed or possibly have come in contact with someone, and they go get tested that day. That's not exactly the way to do it, and then not getting tested after that. That's kind of no use, is it not?
If they do not wait at least 5 days from the time they think they was in contact with a positive person, they're more than likely going to get a negative result. What we tell people is that we wait at least 5 days unless you have symptoms. Now, if you're symptomatic, like I say, if you're having a sinus, you think you have a sinus problems or a headache or something like that, or a cough, then yes, you can go ahead and be tested. But if you're asymptomatic, with the contact with the positive individual, then you need to wait at least 5 days before you test.
And at the same time, I've had discussions with individuals who have waited 5 days, tested negative, and even tested negative twice, perhaps, and then tested positive or come down with it as many as 12 or 14 days after that initial exposure. Is that not right?
We had an individual today that tested positive that I think this will be their third time in quarantine because they'd been in contact with the positive person. But over the last 14 or 28 days, they've been tested twice and been tested negative, and then today test positive. So it can happen at any time, and that's the thing we do when we test. And then if you do test positive, then you're going to go back into that quarantine again for 10 days from the day you tested positive.
And just to be clear, I guess one of the points that I was trying to determine is someone is it possibly exposed to a positive case, they test negative 5 or 6 days later. Mm-hmm. That's not a get out of jail free card.
No. And that's one thing people think they can go be tested at 5 or 6 or 7 days after, how many days after, and if they get a negative, then they can come out of quarantine. And that's not the case. They have to stay in quarantine their 14 days. That's where they test negative every single day. They still have to stay in their quarantine period before they can get out.
There is never a good time for a breakdown. They will happen, and your car at some point is going to need some repairs and maintenance. And Black Smoke Performance is open and here with professional, fast, safe service. And they now have certified full air conditioning, diagnostics, and repair to keep you cool in whatever you drive. Black Smoke Performance, 349-8785.
Your state representative in the 92nd District is John Blanton, and in the last 4 years, he's been working hard. He's secured over $130 million for the district. In McGoffin County, he continued the funding at a cost of $80 million for the Mountain Parkway, while at the same time bringing water and sewer lines to the city of Salyersville and the much-needed industrial park. Your vote is needed to continue the progress in the 92nd District, paid for by John Blanton.
Tired of worrying about the kids using too much data and overages on your bill? Well, the folks at Appalachian Wireless know that during our new normal, data and speed are necessities for communication in our daily lives. That's why they've created the Unlimited Plus plan with 50 gigabytes of high-speed data. With Unlimited Plus, you get more data on the region's best network, and it starts at $90 a month for the first line. That's $10 a month more than our normal unlimited plan. For double the high-speed data, go into an Appalachian Wireless retail location or AppalachianWireless.com for more information on Unlimited Plus.
It's hard to describe the t-shirt lines and looks in right now at the seasonal shop, but I'm going to try. 2 of them are made right here in KY, Ridge and Holler, because, in Kentucky, you're always in one or the other, and both are always beautiful. Just check these designs out. The other is Yonder, and it's made in Pikeville, and it's just as cool and creative and all Kentucky. Definitely something there to appeal to everyone. And the ever-popular Turn Row brand, also at the seasonal shop for all fans of anything farming. And you can come into the shop and experience the magic of perfectly chilled drinks. For regular and slim cans, regular or even wine bottles, cups, and more. It's the Cadillac of koozies by Brewmate. All colors and styles in stock right now at Fraser's Prater Drugs seasonal shop. Go with All Pro, and you'll always get a perfectly finished project backed by decades of experience and thousands of satisfied customers. Always with the best prices on everything from small to large remodels, bathrooms to kitchens to entire homes, or turnkey new construction on everything from garages, homes to retail space. And seamless gutters too. And All Pro still offers 0% financing for up to 18 months and long-term low interest rates on those big projects. For an estimate, call this family-owned business today. All right, everybody, let's say happy birthday tonight to a now 14-year-old Dalton. That's Dalton Payton. And Dalton, from your mama and papa and mom and dad and a bunch of family and friends, birthday wishes to you tonight. Happy 14th birthday to Dalton. Dalton Payton, happy birthday to you. Going on to other announcements, I just got this in. Medicare open enrollment is October the 15th through December the 7th. That means that it starts next week on Thursday, and the Big Sandy ad will have SHIP counselors to assist you via the phone. That is Monday through Friday, 8 until 4:30 via the phone. The number's there close to the bottom of your screen where you can call their office and let one of their SHIP counselors check on applying for LIS and MSP or review your current or other drug plans. It could save you money. They can assist you with Medicare Savings Program applications and the LIS Extra Help if you'll just give them a call. Don't forget about the horse show this weekend, Saturday at the McGoffin County Horse Park on 460 West, hosted by the McGoffin County Youth Baseball and Softball Organization. It starts at 2. It's just $3 to get in. Kids 12 and under get in for free. They're going to have a great show. Some 29 classes, counting the championships, I believe. Great food there as well, and a great organization to support. Keep that in mind, most importantly. And lastly, our local DAR is calling on all Vietnam veterans who served in country from November of 55 through May of 75, or their families or spouses, to recognize and honor them for their service with a special commemorative lapel pin, and they would like to hear from you. Call Pam Wages, 349-1005, what's 1005, Wednesdays or Thursdays after, I think, 1 or so in the afternoon, and she can help you, please, all Vietnam veterans. Please call me. Use my calendar, man. It's free. It's the best way to let everyone know what you've got planned. Birthdays and anniversaries, too. For your church, group, club, organization, all announcements accepted for free, and we put free birthdays and anniversaries and birth announcements in the Sagersville Independent each week as well. To have those published, don't send them to me. Send them to Joe. You send them to me, you know what could happen. jo@SagersvilleIndependent.com. Nightly obituaries brought to you by the McGoffin County Funeral Home, and we would begin this Thursday with a reminder of services to be held tomorrow afternoon at 1 for Jeffrey Wayne Helton, 51 of Royalton Road. Jeff passed away on Sunday, the husband of Sherry Flannery Helton. He is survived as well by his daughter Laken Cheyenne Bradley and grandson Logan Connor Bradley and brother Gerald Anthony Helton. Funeral services again tomorrow at 1. Visitation this evening at the McGoffin County Funeral Home. And also tonight, the passing of 45-year-old Garlena Joseph of Lexington, Kentucky, but formerly of Sagersville, who passed away at the Cambridge Place Nursing and Rehab Center in Lexington, Kentucky on today's date. I'm told that arrangements are still being made by the family and to be announced soon by the McGoffin County Funeral Home. It's one of the most popular and most famous things we've ever done at your Sagersville Lee's. Well, except for our chicken and our biscuits and our wedges and our ice and our hot dogs, and you know what I mean. The $5 coupon is back in this week's edition of the Sagersville Independent. That's $5 off family specials. That's 16 or 20 pieces of chicken, any way you like it, with mashed potatoes and gravy, coleslaw, and biscuits, enough to feed the fam and more. $5 off. Clip the coupon. They'll even give it to you for free in a free newspaper at your Sagersville Lee's famous recipe. $5 off is back. Same 6 decades of experience. Same undivided dedication and focus on winning your case. New location. The law offices of McFarland and Tinker are now located on Route 114 in the former McGoffin Farm Bureau location. Motor vehicle accidents, Social Security disability, SSI claims, wrongful death and workers' compensation and work injury cases. Call 349-9000. McFarland and Tinker. All right, let's go on to something of a completely different note. Your weather forecast coming right up in just a few seconds, and I'll be glad to give you a little look back on our today's date and weather history. This will give you a little comparison and make you really enjoy today even that much more. But before we do, let's talk taters for a second. I don't know a whole lot about growing sweet potatoes, but let me tell you one thing. This is the most important thing you may ever hear about a sweet potato. Sour cream and brown sugar and a little salt. If you haven't tried that or heard of it, I promise. Sour cream, brown sugar, and a little salt. I go to restaurants and ask for it, and nowhere that I've ever asked for it that I eat a sweet potato, have they offered that combination. But when they do, it's a hit. Anyway, That's worth the cost of admission for tonight's show. With that said, here's a couple of taters I'd like to put some sour cream and brown sugar and salt on. I saw Diane Howard the other day, and she said, "Can I send you some pictures of Tim's potatoes?" And then she told me what they were, and I'm like, "Yeah." And then you can drop them off at the house. Timothy Howard raised these sweet potatoes on Cripple Creek, some pretty fertile ground. He started digging. He found a 5.5 pound one, and then that monster, that's almost 6.5 pounds, 6.43 pounds. And then to top that off, he found one plant weighed in at 15.38 pounds. Okay, let's go back and focus just on the 6.43 pound potato. Sometimes you buy a sack of potatoes that are 10 pounds, right? Right. That is a monster. Tim, Diane, thank you. I appreciate it. You've got interesting pics like these of any type, send them. We like to see them. Good news and things of this nature right now mean more than ever. So thank you to the Howards. And what a tater. And what a day today was. A few years ago, back in 1964, a record-breaking cold wave hovering over much of Kentucky. And if you make it all the way down to the bottom line of that today's date in our weather history, the coldest spot was West Liberty. Yeah, that's just right here. 27 degrees for lows. This date, back in 1964. Yep. Nowhere close to that. Pretty much double that for tonight's low. Partly cloudy skies and a calm wind for the rest of your Thursday. Man, what a beautiful day it's been. We've got one more staring at us for this week now. I'm hopeful we're going to see some more of this gorgeous fallish weather. And fall officially starting pretty soon, I guess. Nevertheless, partly sunny for your Friday, 79 degrees. Maybe a few more clouds than today, but 79, partly sunny degrees for your Friday. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to get anybody in trouble and give them some ideas of, playing hooky tomorrow. Showers do roll in, but we're talking about during the overnight, Saturday morning, 2 or 3, so not a fret for football tomorrow night or anything else that you might have planned, sitting around the back porch, what have you. 79, partly sunny. But with everything that's coming through the next system, and, of course, tomorrow we're talking about Delta, we do see more clouds than showers Saturday and Sunday, mostly cloudy. A 70-degree day on your Saturday. Quarter to a half inch of rain right now expected Saturday. And then Sunday, maybe some more rain to add on to that. So rainfall totals right now not looking as high for the weekend as what we were possibly facing yesterday. Sunday's high still at 74 and a 70% chance of showers, mind you. Much more than what we're expecting rainfall-wise tomorrow. Monday, which is Columbus Day, still the upper 70s, partly sunny and a 30% chance of showers pretty much across the board. Tuesday will take a hit via another front, 69, mostly sunny, and only a slight chance of showers. Then we'll clear up and cool down. You know what that's like, right? Wednesday, 65, mostly sunny, maybe low to mid-60s again on next Thursday. We're still holding on to dry conditions thereafter. I think Tuesday is going to be a mostly dry day, and certainly Wednesday and Thursday, and then hopefully we'll have another beautiful Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in store next weekend because this Saturday and Sunday, not so much. And while that wraps it up for this evening, we've still got one more day to go this week. See you back here next time, and please enjoy every millisecond of this beautiful, beautiful Thursday evening. Good night, and thanks for being here. See you tomorrow.